Hi everyone, this is Deepika, Assistant Professor of English, Kailash Women's College. So today we are going to see the tensions. The tenses. So most of the people thinks that grammar is so difficult. In grammar, tenses is so difficult. So it is a very problem for many other people actually. But it's so quite easy if we understand it clearly. So today we are going to see the tenses. So tenses in the sense time, the past, present, the future. The next slide, tenses, yes, grammatically expression of the location of events in time. So it is easy what is now happening, but it's somehow difficult like what's happening yesterday, what will happening tomorrow. So in communicate in English, these are all things compiled with the tenses. It's somehow difficult, understandable. Anchors an event to the speaker's experience of the world by relating the event time to a point of reference, the universal unmarked reference point, the moment of speaking, speech time. Yes, it is so unchangeable. We can't change the time, right? So it is also happening second by second. So it's unchangeable. It's a universe in the sense if the person who speaks in America, the same tense is applicable the person who speaks in India also. So it is a universe, it can't be changed. And the moment of speaking, if I speak in the sense which tense I speaking, the correct one. So in the next slide, so there are three tenses: past, now, future. So past in the sense it's had already happened, it's now, future time. The next slide, the present tense. Yes, so there are three tenses. So one is present tense. The basic meaning of the present tense is to locate a situation holding at the present moment, which is happening now at the present moment. This may be an instantaneous event, I promise to come, right? So a state which holds over time. Jupiter is the largest planet. It means that universal truth, that means the sun rises from the east. So habitual occurrence, we works in an office, it works in an office. So it is a happening now. Then next slide, the past tense, it has already done, refers to a definite event or a state that is a prior to utterance time. Its second day uses refer to a present event or state as hypothetical. If I were you, that means it's happening already. That means what I did yesterday, what happening yesterday, and what had happened yesterday. So these are all the things. If we communicate in the future time about the past, it's a past tense. The next slide, future. Yes. So what will happen tomorrow? Most of the promises, I will do it, I can do it, I will do it in tomorrow. So these are all we are making the promises in the future tense. Okay, in the future, English has no verbal inflection to mark the future tense. Instead of English makes use of number of forms to refer to future events. Yes, for example, for a verb, there are past, present and past participle. There is no verbal word for mentioning the future. So except will or shall. By using will or shall, we are making the sentences to mentioning the future tense. Next slide. Yes. In present, there are four tenses like simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. So the present perfect and perfect continuous we'll discuss in the later slides. So first we'll discuss in the next slide. Present simple, it means simple present. It's like subject plus verb. Okay, it's including the subject plus verb. He works. Does he work? Negative in the sense. He does not work. Okay, it's a simple sentence which concludes subject plus verb 1. That verb 1 mentioning that present tense. Next slide. How it functions. Actually, present tense functions like to talk about the things in general. That means, as I said earlier, the sun rises from the east and I read newspaper daily. Like that. Nurses to look after patients in hospitals. This is one kind of example. To say how often we do things. It's like how we do things. For example, I get up at 7 o'clock every morning. In summer, John plays tennis once a week. So this is how present tense functions. It's about what's happened now with a simple format. That means subject plus verb 1. The next slide. Present simple. Verb is not normally used in continuous tenses like, for example, like, love, hate, want, need, prefer, realize, suppose, mean, understand, believe, remember, belong, contain, consist, depend, seem. So these are all the verbs without using ing. If I use ing, it can be a continuous tense. So simple present denotes that what happened, not what happening. What is happening? It's what happened. So the next slide, present continuous. So now we can use the ing with verb to make that the sentence continuously happening. For example, present of the verb to be plus ing. He is reading. So that means subject plus be verb plus verb 1 with ing. So questions like, is he reading? And then if we write in a negative sentence, he's not reading. So it's a continuously happening. What is happening now? So that is about the present continuous. In the next slide, how it functions. Action happening at the time of speaking. So that means, for example, I'm teaching the class. So somebody is walking behind the camera. It's like that. And let's go now. It's raining anymore. This is an example. Action happening in the period around the time of speaking. That means, Susan working this week? Is your English getting better? So these are all the examples. In the next slide, present perfect. So things are going smooth when we are until the present continuous. When we get into the present perfect, the sentence seems little more difficult, but it's not like that. So perfect in the sense, have plus ed, that means the verb's third form, that means past participle. I have finished. The question, if I ask this question, means have you finished? The negative in the sense, have not finished. The next slide, how it functions in the sense, action is not past, action in the past has a result now. That means action has already started from the past, is happening and then now completed, and the result about that means it's a present perfect. I have lost my key. That means I have lost key. Action started in the past and continued until now. That means if it started yesterday, in the sense, if it is continuous today also, it can comes under the present perfect. That means I have lived here for 15 years. Next slide. Present perfect continuous. It seems somewhat difficult, but not like that. Have plus be plus ing. So it means the present perfect continuous in the sense, perfect denotes the have and continuous ing. So perfect continuous, we include been in between have plus ing. So now he has been waiting. Has he been waiting? He has not been waiting. In the next slide, we'll see how it functions. Activity that has recently stopped or just stopped. That means just stopped. That means I have been eating my lunch. So that like that, it has been raining. Activity still happening. That means it had been raining for 2 hours. The next slide, past tense. So simple past, that means what happened yesterday. So past simple, past continuous. It also have past perfect continuous. In the next slide, you'll see the simple past. It has a subject plus verb 2. Verb 2 in the sense past tense. That means present tense notes write, past tense is wrote. Like that, I went out yesterday. Here, went is a past tense of go. So question is, did you go yesterday? So negative, I did not go out yesterday. Next slide. Past simple, is how it functions. Action completed in the past, as I said. So Mozart wrote more than 600 pieces of music. So it's one of the example. Next slide. Past continuous. So it is easy what happened yesterday, but what was happening yesterday, it's It's a deal. So it's a limited duration. That means yesterday's limited duration. This time last year I was living in Brazil. So action which was interrupted by another action in the past. I was watching TV when the phone rang. So what was happening in yesterday or past, it can be called as past continuous tense. The next slide. So these are all the format. That means subject, be verbs, past. That means was or were plus ing. She was reading. So I said in the present tense, no. So continuous tense should be with ing. The next slide. Past perfect. So it has a had plus ed, that means past participle. I didn't know who she was. I had never seen her before. The next slide. So one of the example. So how it function? Action which happened before another action in the past. So we can easily understand that action completed before the past. When Sarah arrived, Paul wasn't there. He had gone home. So in the next slide. Yes. So in the next slide, we will see the further tenses like past, perfect, continuous, and the rest of future, perfect, future, simple, future, continuous, future perfect, continuous. We'll see in the next class. Thank you.